Good afternoon, everybody. Well, this is going to be a happier video because I'm talking about the New York Mets and the Mets evening the series at one apiece with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I actually watched most of the game on the phone because I was on my way down to MetLife Stadium, which I previously ranted and raved about the Jets. But want to talk about the Mets. Obviously, game one was extremely infuriating. They started a guy who couldn't find the goddamn strike zone, who couldn't, and it put us in a hole early. Um, and they had Jack Flaherty, who just was unhittable. So game one, ugly 9-0. But game two, this was a game the Mets had to have if they have any chance in this series. Um, I know going down 2-0, you'd still have the crowd back at City Field, but still, you don't want to be in an early hole. So the Mets are heading to City Field tomorrow night, up tied 1-1. And this was a bullpen game for the Dodgers. The Mets had to have this one, and Lindor set the tone early with a home run. And then Tyrone Taylor in the second, 2 out hitting, good clutch hitting. Or it was 1 out, and then it was 2-0. But then Alvarez, who's done nothing with the bat, pops out, and then Lindor intentionally walks Lindor, backfired on him. Mark Vientos. I want him to be a Met for life because every time he's up the bat, and even when he strikes out, I can't kill him because what has he done for this team? Other than just next to Lindor. I mean, I mean he's becoming a feared slugger. I mean he's a beast, and he hit 27 home runs, and he didn't even really play much first month and a half of the season. It wasn't much of a factor. 6-0. Hits that grand slam, makes the Dodgers pay for their decision and intentionally walk Lindor. And it just set the tone for the game. Manaea was cruising for the first 4 innings, held Otani in check, held Betts in check, Hernandez, Freeman, all those guys. You're gonna beat the Dodgers. You gotta slow down their studs. Not easier said than done, I know. I mean, it's one game and we still got to deal with them, but hey, they did a good job containing those guys. But of course, it wouldn't be a Met playoff game without some drama. Manaea had trouble finding the strike zone in the sixth inning, and for 2 out, nobody on, Freeman was up. And honestly, to be honest with you, we were close to MetLife Stadium. I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and take a break for a minute because I was nervous about it. So took a break and then saw that the Dodgers scored a couple of runs. And then it was still 6-3. They had a chance in the seventh, didn't come through. Winker struck out, and Alvarez just could. Twice earlier in the game, Alvarez had a chance to do something. He didn't, to really break it open. So of course I had to be some nerves late. And then in the eighth inning. First of all, Ryan Stanek has actually been the Mets' best reliever, so he did a good job coming in the seventh and in the eighth and holding things down. I know he put a couple of men on in the eighth, but 2 outs. I mean, he pitched an inning and 2/3. He's better than Maton. I mean, and I think he's better than Garrett. I mean, hell, he might even be better than Diaz. Ryan Stanek is pitched like our best reliever, so. But of course, Diaz is the guy. I mean, Diaz is the closer. We're gonna win or lose with this guy. And he comes in the eighth. He gets the out. I'm like, whew. I was actually checking in at MetLife Stadium, going through security. And then I saw on the jumbotron. They had the Met game on the jumbotron. I breathed a little bit easier. We go to our seats. We're 4 rows by the tunnel. They had the game on in the stadium, and the Mets took an extra lead. I think it was Marte that got a double. And it was 7-3, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's get 3 more outs. And I was watching the pregame warm-ups, and I'm watching the Met game on the jumbotron. And Diaz, it wouldn't be a Diaz ninth inning without control issues, and he walked the first couple of guys. Put a couple of guys on via the walk, and I'm like, here we go. And Freddie Freeman had a chance to do some damage. Granted, it was 2 outs, but still. And it was fitting to see Diaz when he had to buckle down to get their best hitters out. He did. And he got Hernandez out. He got Freeman out, and we survived that one. But there was a little bit more drama than I would have liked. But kudos to Lindor. Kudos to Vientos. Kudos to the Mets. Manaea gutted. Dodgers aren't an easy lineup. Manaea gutted that performance out. Kudos to Stanek. Diaz got the job done. Of course, he makes you sweat, but he got the job done, buckled down when he needed to, and got their best hitters after some control issues. And we're heading back to Citi Field 1-1. So Severino's going on the mound tomorrow. I haven't looked for the Dodgers yet, but I'm pretty sure it's Walker Buehler. The Mets can win. Hopefully. You want to take 2 out of 3 to feel really good at Citi Field. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if you really, you want, obviously you want to sweep, but the crowd is going to be rocking at Citi Field, and regardless, even if we were down 2-0, we'd be rocking. But either way, it's 1-1. It's a best of 5 now. I look at it as it's a best of 5, with the Mets having home field advantage. So. Hopefully, tomorrow will be a good game to get. It's a big game. Hopefully Severino can find his stuff. And we can take this thing. So see what happens. It won't be easy, but here we are, best of 5 NLCS, and I would have signed up for this any day as a Met fan, especially after the beginning of June, when we were the worst team in baseball, and then we became the best team in baseball. So here we go. Good vibes with the Mets. Not the same about the Jets, which I ranted in a previous video. But here we are. LFGM.